As runners, we all challenge ourselves in ways we never thought possible, pushing the boundaries of what we're capable of to smash through targets and set ourselves new, bigger and better ones.
This awesome hobby that we share gives us one thing in common, and it brings us together as a community. Whether you're working towards completing your first parkrun or you're a veteran of the sport who's run 100 ultra marathons, we all know the feeling of reaching that maxed out effort and our own red line.
Welcome to our podcast, where your hosts Brett Elesmore and Andy Maguire discuss the struggles, the successes and everything in between on our running journeys, as we all work towards the next time we're running the red line. Hello and welcome to episode 116 of Running the Red Line. I am your host Brett, and I am joined as always by my co-host Andy. How are you this week?
Got my summer shirt on, feeling very summery in the 14th heat wave in a row.
It's like you're about to go and shoot Miami Vice or something.
I know, it's a bad boy this, isn't it? TK Maxx this Hawaiian shirt. I think everybody needs a Hawaiian shirt in their wardrobe. I think every self-respecting gentleman needs one. Have you got one?
No.
You need one. They're absolutely. So, how would you describe this to any of our audio listeners?
I would say it's the colours of a tropical sunset.
Yeah. There's pink, orange. There's pink, orange, burnt orange, and dark brown tree trunk brown colours with palm trees. And it's an absolute beauty, this one, if I don't say so myself. But yes, it's getting cooler this week, isn't it? It's a very cool 25 tomorrow, I think.
Yeah, excellent.
Is that what it's scheduled to be? I think it's going down to 20, because we're officially not in a heat wave. Apparently 26. You need 26 degrees minimum to be in a heat wave. That's what I heard on the news the other day.
Well, it was 27 apparently today where I am. And tomorrow it's going to be 24 at the peak.
I think that's what I heard on the BBC News or ITV News the other day.
Yeah, 24 at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
So for park running conditions tomorrow might be quite good. Yeah,
let's have a look. 9 o'clock in the morning.
18 I've got.
17 degrees.
Yeah. Nice. 5 mile an hour winds, so hardly any wind. Do you know what? If there's one time of year you don't mind a breeze or a headwind, it's during a heat wave. It's now.
Yeah. Sometimes
that wind is just needed. But any other time of the year, no thank you. But so to answer your original question, one thing we haven't mentioned since we last chatted, we are now out of the World Cup. We've got 4 more years.
4 more years of hurt.
4 more years of disappointment.
4 more years of dreaming.
Yeah. So, where did you watch the game? Did you watch the game?
I actually watched it. Well, was the Mexico game after?
Mexico was 2 weeks ago.
Was it?
It was Norway this time last week.
Yes, sorry. The Norway game, that was after last pod, weren't it?
Just be careful. Don't incriminate yourself on having to buy a TV license.
No, I didn't. I went to my sister's and watched it.
Okay.
The Norway game. And
what am I doing?
I don't know.
I've got some opal fruits to eat after my tea. Oh, for God's sake.
And you're eating them first.
Oh, I've gone sweets before tea. That's not good. Carry on, Joe.
I went to my sister's to watch the Norway game, and I had one of the most annoying first halves I've ever had, because I was watching it in the kitchen, and my brother-in-law was watching it in the lounge, and because he was on the Sky input, I think it's Sky, whatever. Wow, well, it might have been normal terrestrial input, might have been Freeview. But in the kitchen, they've got it off Amazon Fire Stick, so it was off the internet.
Yeah.
So everything that happened on the TV I was watching was 30 seconds delayed from what was happening in the lounge. But he had his volume up high enough so I could hear it. So every chance on goal, I heard 30 seconds before I actually saw it on the TV.
So why weren't you all in the same room?
Because there was lots of us there, because they've got a lot of kids, and my mum and dad were there as well. We'd all gone up for tea, basically, and then to watch the game. And I'd gone up to help her with some work. So we'd all gone up there, and then there was 2 TVs on, and we just sat where we were. We just migrated to different TVs.
So the terrestrial, the cable, the antenna, whatever you want to call it, was delayed, and the internet feed was first.
The internet was delayed. The internet feed was delayed. But I think, because this was the crazy thing, because I think that he was on the, it must have been Sky or whatever feed, because I then went into their garage where my niece had a little TV on, and it was playing the game, and that was just off an aerial. So that was just off the normal terrestrial, and that was 30 seconds in front of the one in the lounge. So it was like a minute's delay from that one to the one in the kitchen.
I saw a clip of somebody doing that. I think they were Holland fans, Netherlands fans, and they were doing the same. And they played a trick on their neighbours downstairs who were watching it all in the garden with the barbecue. And they celebrated a goal when they didn't score. And then everyone in the garden was like, yeah, yes! And then it just went out for a goal kick. And they were like, oh, sorry, guys, just joking.
Brilliant. Love it. But yeah, so I watched the Norway game there, but the Argentina game, I watched on iPlayer on the phone whilst I was working.
Right. What do you think? Have you got a fresh angle? Because the narrative has been speaking for itself, really, hasn't it?
Yes.
The nation seems to think that one person ruined it for all of us.
Yes.
I've got a couple of theories on it, but
everybody's having exactly the same conversation, and they're saying it as if it's like novel and new. No, it's not your idea, is it? Just calm down a bit, you know. Yeah. That's what I do. I do feel like saying that to some people. I feel like saying, "Are you an elite level football coach, or are you a chartered accountant? Like which one is it? Who am I going to believe? Have you listened to someone else say that, and are you just repeating it?"
Yeah, but I mean, everyone's obviously going for the manager because obviously he made those defensive substitutions when we were 1-0 up and ultimately lost 2-1. Yeah. So it's very Southgate-esque. But when you think about what was actually happening, I think we scored against the run of play. I don't think we were ever really on top. If anything, we were sort of battling hard in the first half. We had spells of play when we looked okay, but we were never really a dominant force. Then we scored with a big long ball up, and then the second ball got picked up by, who was it? Morgan Rogers, and then Gordon scored. But I must be in the minority here, but I don't blame the manager for what happened. I don't think it was his fault. I just think he was just trying to protect a lead, and he knew we had no chance of scoring a second because we already looked like we were settling for penalties. That's how it felt. We were just, we didn't really. We looked, if you're being honest, we looked exhausted. We looked like a team we looked like how everybody feels at 23 miles of the way through a marathon. Just absolutely devoid of imagination, anything, creativity, anything. And then obviously you just knew it was coming, didn't you? You knew we were going to lose 2-1. You just knew it. There was no way Argentina weren't going to score because you could just feel the tidal wave. My sister lives in France, and she said French commentary described it as a siege.
Yeah.
An Argentinian siege. And
yes.
yeah, to be fair, that's exactly what it was. There was just no resisting it.
Yeah.
But he brought all those defenders on. They had one job.
Yeah.
And still couldn't defend.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm not having that it's Thomas Tuchel who's entirely to blame. Just quickly, with my opal fruits, always save the red ones to the end. Without fail.
And are they opal fruits or starburst?
Opal fruits, 100%. Yeah.
But are actually the ones you've bought, are they opal fruits? They are. Because they've re-released opal fruits, haven't they, as like a retro thing?
Yeah, they're just different. I don't know. Well, starburst were slightly rogue, weren't they? And they brought out a purple colour. And for a while, they brought tropical flavours out, didn't they?
Weren't starburst just opal fruits with a different name?
Yeah, I think they were, but they introduced some different colours. But I don't know. There's something retro and something like 90s for me about eating opal fruits, because I said they were my sweets of choice as a child.
Yeah, okay.
And I was very fond of a chewit as well.
I was going to say, because the 3 different types of that type of sweet are all very different. So, like, an opal fruit has got a bit of a chalky texture to it. Even though it's chewy, it's got a bit of a chalky texture to it. Chewits, bit more chewy, little less chalky.
You can lose fillings to chewits, can't you?
Yeah, and then Frutella, bit like chewing plastic.
Yes. No, I would never lean towards a Frutella. I'd never optionally go for a Frutella.
Yeah, but they're more solid and plasticky than a chewy and an opal fruit. An opal fruit would probably, if you stretched it, it would crumble a bit within the stretch, whereas a Frutella would just stretch like chewing gum.
What would be your medical sweet of choice? I'll tell you mine. A tune. Do you remember a tune?
Oh, tunes. Yeah, tunes were good. No, Gray's herbal tablets.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I just feel like they're like. It's hard to explain the taste of them because it's like they're almost a bit sour. They've almost got like a strange sourness to them, haven't they?
Yeah, like a medicinal taste to them.
Yeah, basically. And but tunes, do they still make them?
They do, yeah.
Do they?
I think they do, yeah. Yeah, because there was tunes and then Hull's Soothers.
When you get to that middle bit,
and
you've got the blackberry flavour,
liquid centre.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
And then what's the other one that everywhere sells now? Jakeman's.
I've never had a Jakeman's.
Okay, and they sell all different flavours. They sell like mint ones, but then they do cherry and honey and lemon and all that sort of ones.
Yeah. Do you from your singing days, but obviously you still very much are. Have you ever had something called vocal zones?
Yes.
Do you remember that? Because they've got a numbing agent in them, haven't they?
They have, and
they're very dangerous.
They have got me through lots of gigs, but they are really bad for you.
It's the equivalent of being a footballer or an athlete and having an injection in your knee, in your dodgy knee, 3 minutes before you go out and run a 800-meter PB.
Yes, yeah, exactly that. Yeah, because they numb the pain in your throat, so you push through it and sing through it, and then it causes even more damage because you're pushing through where you shouldn't.
and you very slowly become addicted to them because you can't ever recover, because your voice is just getting more and more torn to pieces. Because I said, when I don't know if I ever said this on the podcast, but years ago I had this job, my first acting job at Warwick Castle. I was a ghost in the ghost tower, and we used to have this
white sheet. Woo!
Yeah. Well, our thing was, we don't do boo. That was our little motto, and we had to reenact this this story of, you know, some historical. It was very camp and hammy when I think back. But it was written by an Australian guy, and we had like a 3-scene play that we had to like play out, and it was interactive. So we'd be in the middle of the room, and we'd have like 10 or 15 people come in, and they'd all, like, the first room was the intro, the middle room was the murder bit, which is upstairs in the 4-poster bed, and then the downstairs bit was the final aftermath. The haunting of the ghost.
How long ago was this when you did this?
That was the spring, summer, and autumn season of 2008. That was, and then I also did a season in the dungeon in 2010.
Yeah, because I went. I can't remember what year it was. It probably after that. But I went to Warwick Castle at Halloween, and it was they had a very similar thing going on, where you did a tour around Warwick Castle, and it was a story of a guy who had like a big curved like scythe knife, and he'd murdered his wife or something like that. And you went through the castle, and then, like, the person that was taking you on the tour, all of a sudden you'd be in the room with a 4-poster bed, and then strobe lights had come on.
Yeah.
Somebody dressed as the murderer with this big knife would run through the room, so you'd just catch a glimpse of him. Then the lights would come back up, and he'd be disappeared.
Yeah,
and they did that all around the castle.
And let me guess, smoke machine as well. We had a smoke machine, dry ice. Yeah, we had the dry ice with the strobe. Classic scare tactic.
Yeah,
but I would go as far as to saying that was probably the best job I ever had, and it was an hourly paid job, and it was a secure acting job, if you know what I mean. It was like, which never happens in the business, and but the thing is, you can get too comfortable doing it. So I think 1 year was enough for me. There are still people there now who are like nearly 20 years later, and I couldn't give my life to it, because it was a bit much.
Did you say you did the dungeon as well? Because we went into the dungeon that same night, and it was they had something called the seance on in there.
I wasn't involved in that.
So you went down and you sat. It's either you sat in a circle, and you had to hold hands. No, stand in a circle. That was it. You stood in a circle and held hands, and then in the table in the middle, the lights would keep on going down, and things would appear in the middle of the table, and then like somebody would be asked to hold something, and then all of a sudden, like, the chalk would write on the chalkboard in the middle of the room and write a thing. Because everybody was stood, they were obviously getting through a gap to change the things in the middle, but nobody could feel anything or feel anybody going past. So it was quite clever how they did it.
Well, I do think it was one of the best jobs I ever had, because, as you can imagine, at the castle, we used to have majority coming around the castle. Coming around the ghost tower, we'd normally have, I'd say 80% would be school groups, school kids. And we used to have so many French and German kids and Italians, such badly behaved kids, and obviously the British kids weren't any better. And then we'd have I think they were Japanese, and we'd have the Japanese, and the only way we would know that they were Japanese is that they would sort of cower, and they would make this cowering noise the whole way through. So we're all as if to say, "Don't kill me, don't kill me," and all 20 of them are going, and we're basically trying to like do this play, and they're literally just freaking out. And it was like a culture thing that they all did. They'd almost all do it all the time. The same age kids would come in, and we'd be speaking to each other, going, "Is there any point doing this? No, can you hear me? No, press the smoke machine, press the strobe," and then they'd all scream, and then they'd move on to the next room because you can't hear yourself talking there because they're all just whimpering. But one time I did the job. One of the scares we had to do was the narrator was talking. And he'd get everyone to look up at a painting. And then behind it was stood me or an actor. And what we would do, we would pull open the doors and we would obviously we'd do this 100 times a day. So we knew exactly how many steps we had. We would go straight up close to whoever stood right in front. Whoever's unfortunately enough was stood in front of that painting. And we'd have to deliver this little monologue thing. And it was a really good jump scare. But one time I did it, and it was a group of kids. But when you're behind the doors, you don't know who's in front of you. You just know that the host has positioned people around the painting.
Yes. Yeah.
Could be anybody. There could be nobody there, but there normally always was. I got the school teacher of the group of the kids, and she was on her own with a group of kids. And as I came out, right, I'm just advancing, I don't know, 6 foot, not even that, but quite quickly. She drop kicked me in the balls. And she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." And I had to pretend that she hadn't done it, like not breaking character. And she absolutely cleaned me out. And I was keeling over trying to deliver this like 11th century monologue, and everyone was laughing. Oh God, I was like, "Oh my God, what has just happened?"
Brilliant.
But, she was like, I'm so sorry," because the rule was we would never touch you, and you're obviously not allowed to touch us.
Yeah.
But some people have just got that reflex in them.
Yeah.
And it's like that fight or flight thing just gets ignited in people when something happens or when someone comes, very quickly towards them. They kind of stick up for themselves. And this woman just absolutely Jackie Chan'd me. She Bruce Lee'd me right in the guts. Oh God, it was so funny. But we had so many of them incidents every day. And as you can imagine, the cast was it was just a great crack because we were all, every time a group had gone, we'd have 5 minutes to chat about the last group. And, so it was a really, really good job. But just chaos. But as a sort of job, I couldn't still do that job now. Like it was too demanding, too intense. But yeah, that's why I was on about vocal zones, because we had to deliver this. We had to talk over people. We had to raise our voices very loudly every 7 minutes or whatever it was. And so I got addicted to these vocal zones. They had a specific taste. I can't quite remember what it was, but I remember just popping these things like Smarties.
I'm sure it was like,
but it's a menthol taste, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like a licoricey sort of menthol taste.
Yeah. That's it. That's exactly it. And I think you could get them over the counter, but God knows if you can still get them or not.
Yeah, they're just on the shelf. Yeah, just on the shelf in a pharmacy. But when you were at Warwick Castle, in the dungeons, did they have the bit where everybody sat on like the wooden benches round the side, and then they'd tell a story, and then all of a sudden the seats would start bouncing, so it was like underneath your bum?
No,
it was like,
so I don't think we had that sort of budget when you were there. So when we did you go to? It sounds like you went to the dungeon after dark, maybe, or you went to an event
probably,
rather than just a normal working day.
We went when it was Halloween. So there was like a light trail where you could go and watch. They had the trebuchet firing a flaming ball.
Yeah, that's always fun to watch, isn't it? Yeah.
And then they had this tour inside the castle where they had this story, and then the séance in the dungeon.
So they'd always ask the actors if they wanted to do anything after extracurricular sort of stuff. And I'd always say no because I'd always had enough of the place. But you always got paid a separate rate to do that stuff. But you had to learn a whole new script, and so yeah, I never really said yes to those things. But they used to like Alton Towers. They do Scarefest, don't they? After dark.
Yes, yeah.
A lot of companies will put on events around sort of Halloween and stuff. But yeah, we would just do it. When I worked in the dungeon, we had to learn. So right, imagine this is how much things have changed. So when I left Warwick Castle the first time, I left doing this cushy job, the one where we had people kicking me in the face. But there was only, I probably had 3 scenes to learn with very minimal conversation. There wasn't a lot of lines to learn. And it was the same thing all the time. And the show was only 6 minutes. And then when I left, came back a year later to London Dungeon, as in the London Dungeons events company had moved into Warwick. They put in an hour-long show or a 45-minute show, something like that. So you'd walk around to all these different rooms, but instead of having a couple of scenes to do, you as an actor, you would have for example, we had a courtroom scene where we had put someone on trial and sent them to their death or something like that. Then we had a plague doctor. We had all sorts. We had a torturer. We had all sorts of different rooms. And you had to learn all of these different characters because you never knew until the day you got there what character you'd be.
Okay.
It was just, it was quite a lot. And like, we had to learn like so much jargon, so much. There was no leeway on the script anymore. It was equivalent of like London Marathon events taking over a little event. Like there's no more like getting away with murder anymore. It's all, you got to do it our way now.
I was going to say, it's a bit like you were one of the understudies for a West End show or something where you've got to learn every part just in case one of the lead cast is ill, and then you've got to jump into that part. Yeah.
But like, I remember like one time I was the plague doctor once, and that was.
Did you have to wear one of the plague doctor masks with a big long nose?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, and it was like we had all these props, like fake intestines and all this sort of stuff. But like, it was one summer's afternoon, I worked there, and a kid had been sick, and in the hallway, and plague doctor was the only area of the dungeon without a door. So you couldn't shut the door to get away from the smell. And it was there. And I kept, day after day after day that week, I kept being the same character. And I was like, are you joking? I've got to deal with this smell all day. And suffice to say, the second time I worked there, I didn't work there for as long because like most things, when you come back to something, having been away from it, and it's not quite the same, you don't enjoy it as much. So I lasted about 3 months the second time round.
Well, you should have used the plague doctor mask like they actually were made for back in the plague.
What the big long beaky thing?
Because you know why it had a big long nose, don't you?
I do know, but I can't remember why.
So one of the reasons was they put dried flowers and stuff and really strong smelling things in there because they'd be going around rotting bodies. Yeah. So they had the masks on with the nicer smelling stuff to try and overcome the smell of rotting bodies as they were going around.
Bloody hell. So I think people thought that it was like we'd done it deliberately, but no, some kid called Alfie had just chundered that morning. But but I think back and I do think what a great job that was. That was working up, and that's why I think I like the Two Castles race so much, because I get to go back to Warwick every now and again. And it is so weird seeing the castle each year change. And I always maintain this, that one day there will be a roller coaster there, because even when I was there, they were making changes, and people that had been there 10 years were saying, oh, it's not like it used to be. And, they're making this now. They're putting that there. And, because it's owned by Merlin.
I was going to say it's owned by Merlin, which is Thorpe Park, Alton Towers, Legoland.
Yeah.
So Warwick Castle is like the only one without roller coasters and rides.
Well, you can see it now, can't you? Like Take a Journey Through Time or a roller coaster of history, or that you can see it now. They could so easily put something like that up, but it wouldn't surprise me because they keep popping up with new ideas. But that leads me on to a question to you. Then I don't know if we've chatted about this on the pod. What do you think one of your best jobs has been that you've ever had, or what was your first job?
Well, this is the thing. First proper job or part-time job when I was a kid?
Well, part-time, I guess. Which came first, the part-time?
Yeah, because basically I did school, then did sixth form, then did college, then went to uni, then did a PGCE straight after uni, and then started teaching.
So you never worked during those years?
No, well, I did. I had part-time jobs and stuff, but I was always in education until I started teaching.
Yeah, but did you have like a job where you were a
full-time job?
Did you have a job where you were like a pot wash or anything? Or
that's what I mean. So I had part-time jobs. My first ever job was I worked at the Fisherman's Catch in the town centre.
Is that still there?
The one is the one on Bates Hill is, but the one that was down at Grove Street is now a Snappy Pizza or something like that. Okay. So they had two different ones, and I had to go between the two. And I was a spud boy, so I basically peeled all the potatoes and put them out ready for the girls to come up and chip them and take them down to cook them.
So was that like a morning shift then?
Well, it was normally after school, so I'd go there in the evenings or on the weekends, and I'd have to. They had huge barrels. And I think there was 4 or 5 of them, and you used to have to fill all 5 barrels with peeled potatoes and fill them up with water, and then the potatoes would just stay in the water until the girls would come up, grab a bucket of them, chuck them into the chipper, fill the bucket with chips, and take them back down to the chip shop to cook them.
You didn't have to cut them into chips. You just had to peel.
So there was a mechanical chipper where they would put the potatoes in, and it would just throw the cut chips out.
I imagine there were so many health and safety red flags when you were there.
But my job was basically to get the bags of potatoes, put them into the peeler, and the peeler was basically a drum that you could put a whole bag of potatoes in, like a sack, like a 20-kilogram sack of potatoes. You'd put in the top of this drum, and the outside of the drum and the bottom was covered in like sandpaper, really rough sandpaper. And the bottom would spin, so they'd hit against the sandpaper and take off all the peeling. You'd then open up the hatch, and they would all fly out into a sink. And then with a hand peeler, you'd have to cut out any eyes or any bits of green off them, and then put them into the barrels of water.
And did you have to dispose of all that
all the
sandpapered? Oh, that must have been a dirty job. That must have been a...
Well, the worst part was, and this is where... After I worked there for a while, I didn't go to a chippy for a long time afterwards because they would buy potatoes in bulk, and the bags of potatoes they bought would last for a couple of weeks, the amount that they bought at a time.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you leave potatoes in stacks for a long time, they will start to go off. So when you got to the bottom of the pallet of bags of potatoes, you'd put them in, and it would basically end up half the potato would be mush. So you'd end up with only half a potato that would come out the peeler because they would already gone off and gone mushy.
Oh God! And I imagine they were just full of soil, and they would just come straight out the ground.
Yeah,
no, it was
basically. But they were. The bottom bags of potatoes smelt quite bad, and they'd already gone quite mushy and quite bad. So you'd try and pick up the sack of potatoes sometimes, and the sack would just break apart. Potatoes would go everywhere, so you'd then be on your hands and knees trying to pick up all the potatoes.
So you would have been, what, 16 doing this?
Yes. Yeah.
Year 11?
Yeah. And I did that for 2 years.
That must have been a cash in hand job.
No. Well, yes, it was cash paid, but we had to do hour sheets, so it was paid per hour, and we used to clock in for our things, and we had to write down the time that we started, and then as soon as when we'd finished, we had to write down the time that we were leaving, and then he paid us for the hours that we worked. But the other thing that we had to do as well as potatoes was the fish. So we had to bone the fish, which sounds a bit odd. Boning fish.
Bone. You had to bone the fish.
Exactly. So basically, the fish would come frozen, and there would be basically half. So the heads would be chopped off, and they'd be split in half, and the spine would be taken out, but then they'd be frozen. So what we would have to do is get them out of the freezer, defrost them in the sink, and then get all of the pieces of fish and cut the bone out the middle of the fish, and prepare all the fish for them to go down to the chip shop to be battered and frozen and fried.
So some days you're on spud, some days you're on
every day you would do all the potatoes, then you'd have to do all the fish, and then that was your job done. God. Well, apart from the cleaning as well and all the bits and bobs.
When was your shift over? When you'd empty the barrel? When you'd emptied the
basically when you'd filled all the potatoes and done all the fish that they needed.
So what happens at the end of the night then with in a chippy with all those chips and
all the
fish?
All the potatoes, because they're in water, they can be left overnight, and they would use them again the next day until they ran out.
Right, but like in an actual chippy though, does everything if nothing's used, does everything just get chucked? Nothing can be recycled and used a day after, can it? Please tell me that.
The raw potatoes can. So the raw potatoes that are in the barrels in the water.
But anything that's been cooked and fried.
Everything that's been cooked then goes in the bin. Yeah, at the end.
Yeah. Of the night. How did you get paid in fish and chips as well, or was that the last thing you wanted to eat?
Well, no, we could have fish and chips, but we had to buy it.
Really? They wouldn't give you a free cone of chips at least?
No.
Blooming hell. That's so... brilliant. What was the name of your first boss? Do you remember?
I think it was something like Tech or something like that.
Right.
Which I guess was a nickname, but I don't know. I don't know what his actual name was. I can't remember.
Right.
But here's a bit of trivia for you. What do you reckon my pay was per hour when I started when I was 16?
So is this 1996?
I would hang on. 1997. I would have been 16.
1997. I think you would be looking at £3 an hour. £2 an hour.
Yeah.
Oh, that is
when I finished there, because I worked there for 2 years, and when I finished there when I was 18, I was on £3 an hour. It had gone up to £3.
That's mental, isn't it? You just did a 3-hour graft, £6 to show for it.
Basically, yeah.
Oh God, covered in fish guts and all that. Oh my God.
I used to go home stinking at the end of the day. It's horrible.
Oh God.
But you do these things, don't you?
When I was 16, I was actually 15, actually. I don't know how I got the job so under 16. I worked at the golf club, Bromsgrove Golf Club, and I used to have to, I was a ball boy, so I used to have to collect the balls from the driving range. And that was, thinking back, that was a good job because we had to drive the Gator. Do you know what I mean by the Gator? The John Deere, the farm vehicle. Like we had to drive that. We had to drive the quad bike. We had to, you know, loads of things we were getting trusted to do, which is mad. Like refill it and you know put the fuel in and revert. I can revert. Well, I probably couldn't do it because I haven't done it since 2001. But I used to be a dab hand at reversing with a trailer because obviously you have to counter steer. You know, if you're trying to reverse with a. Yeah. And that is not an easy skill to do. I imagine it's the same with a caravan, like trying to reverse a caravan. It doesn't go the same way as you steer your wheel. Yeah. So we had to reverse the trailer, the big metal trailer. We had to reverse that with the quad bike into the barn. and little things like that. I gained loads of skills doing that, and I did that until 16 to say 18. And my first few years there, or definitely my first year, I remember it vividly. £3.15 an hour it was, and I was doing 2-hour shifts 3 times a week, and I would get 6 hours on a Sunday doing the ball wash. So ball collect Monday, Wednesday, alternative Fridays, and then Sunday was you'd either get Saturday or Sunday morning ball wash, and you'd have to literally collect the balls from the barn, put them through the ball wash, and then put them on the rack for people to go and hit on the driving range. And £3.15 an hour, good times.
I tell you what, that's something I haven't done for a long time, which I'd quite like to do. Go to a driving range and just ping some golf balls.
Should we go? I would absolutely
Yes.
love.
Yes, let's do it.
To have a good old knock on the driving range.
Yeah, I haven't done that for years.
Have you got any golf clubs?
No. I just always used to just hire a driver at the same time as getting the balls.
Yeah, I've still got the same clubs that I was playing with when I was 16 in the garage, and I can't part with them. They're ping-zings they are, and they're probably no good now, but I just can't get rid of them. So let's go and have a little knock on the range one day.
Yes,
that'd be brilliant.
That'd
be great. And then the day after, we won't be able to lift our phone to our ears because our bodies will just be so battered.
Yeah, because we're not used to using the upper half of our body now, are we?
No.
It's just the legs.
Have you ever played a round of golf?
Once I played. I've only ever played one round of golf, and it was at what's the golf course in Redditch called?
Picture Oak.
Yeah, Picture Oak golf course.
Legendary golf club. Yeah.
The
ninth hole coming down towards the clubhouse. Do you remember that? It's like it's all downhill. Yeah, legendary hole.
I only ever played one round, and it was on there, and I'm not particularly good at golf or anything like that. I just used to like going to a driving range and hitting balls as hard as I could. But my mate convinced me to go and have a round, so I was like, okay, cool. And we went to the practice nets first of all to hit a few balls just to get our swing going and everything. And every ball I hit on the practice nets were going off, slicing to the side, or just dribbling off the tee or whatever. Yeah. So we went, oh, okay, let's just go and start. Got to the first tee, put my ball down, and the first hole is a dog leg.
Yes, I remember.
Yeah. So and I hit the sweetest drive I have ever hit in my life, and it went miles past the dog leg. So I then had to hit it back the other way to be able to then go down the dog leg. So, screwed myself over on the very first hole, and that was the best hit I did for the whole game.
Do you know, there are a few things more embarrassing when you're on the tee and there are people behind you, because I think they try and get you off every 8 or 10 minutes or whatever it is. And there's a bit of a queue forming because things are running late. There is nothing more embarrassing than lining up to take your shot and you take about 2 or 3 air swings in a row. And you just think, oh my God, everyone's watching me here. Everyone looks professional. And I literally cannot hit this thing. And I think I've done that before. And I've ended up hitting the ball about 8 inches or something like that. And it's just so embarrassing. But we should have a run in the red line. Tell you what you could wear. You could wear them Adidas joggers that you've got.
Oh, yes, I could, yes.
You Colin Farrell's.
Yes, I could.
Because doesn't he wear them in the... Is it the Gentleman?
Yeah, the Gentleman, yeah. They're all wearing Adidas tracksuits, aren't they? That type of...
it's like tweed. It's like a faux tweed, isn't it, or something?
Yeah, that sort of thing. Yeah, like dog tooth and that sort of thing, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely could wear them. But anyway, shall we actually get into the nuts and bolts of this podcast? Because how far are we in? 45 minutes.
Right. So, first thing I've got on my list here that actually includes running is it's the big day down in London tomorrow.
Yes.
It is
222.
It's the London Diamond League. So there are two big races. I mean, all of the races are going to be excellent. Unfortunately, Jake Whiteman's dropped out of the 800. He said he had a bit of a niggle, and he's got a tendency to injure himself before a big tournament. So because the Europeans are coming up, he's decided to step down from the Diamond League and just continue on towards the actual championships.
Right.
But the two big races are the women's 800 meters, where Keely Hodgkinson is going for the world record. So she's hoping, well, she'll need to run a 1:52 to break the world record.
That is absolutely bonkers, isn't it?
Yeah. But the women's 800 meters world record is like the longest standing record there is.
Yeah. Is it
the
Romanian or the Czechoslovakian?
Yeah, and it's shrouded with controversy or controversy, however you want to say it.
Weirdly, I need to get Christina on the pod one day, because Chris, my neighbour, is the Olympian who I've mentioned. I met her on a dog walk once, and we got chatting, and we got talking. I met me being me. I'll probably mention marathon after 3 minutes of meeting a stranger. She was like, "Oh yeah, I've run in the Innsbruck Olympics or the Munich Olympics or whatever." I was like, "What?" So yeah, it turns out she was the first ever woman to break 2 minutes for the 800 meters. And she said I wish I remember which Olympics it was, 80, maybe 84. She said she had a really good shot of winning the thing. Literally, she trained so well. And that year, she just called it the Eastern Bloc, absolutely dominated the podium that race. And she could not get anywhere near that. And I think she was beaten by a Czech woman, a Romanian, and maybe a Russian or something. And she just said these women were just stacked. Like they were like three Terminators. And then little old Chris just couldn't compete. Yeah.
Yeah. There's lots of, people who think that it wasn't a clean world record. And it wasn't a very clean time in track racing. So it's always been under a cloud, that that world record. So people have wanted it to be broken for a long time to get rid of that that whole thing. So Keely's going for it. Wero isn't racing on tomorrow, but she has also got Femke Bol racing as well.
In the 800?
Yeah. So she was supposed to have Georgia Hunter-Bell in that race as well, but Georgia Hunter-Bell's dropped out because she's been ill for a few days, and she said she's not going to be back up to full fitness ready for the race. So, but Femke Bol, basically she's moved up from the 400 meters and 400 meter hurdles to the 800, and she is improving so much. I think in the first 4 800 meters she ran a 1:59, a 1:57, a 1:57, and a 1:55. So she's just basically slowly knocking down.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So she'll have Femke Bol on her tail pretty much throughout the whole of the race. But that's going to be quite exciting. So, yeah, that is the first of the big races. And then the other big race is the men's mile. And Josh Kerr is going for the world record, which is
3:22.
So at the moment,
42, sorry?
It's 3:43 is the world record at the moment.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure, is it Hicham El Garouge that's got that record?
I don't know.
I'm gonna have to Google it just to make sure that I'm getting that right.
Yeah.
Men's mile world record. Yeah, Hicham El Garouge. From I think it's from like the late 90s. He did that just before 2000s, and it's 3:43.13.
3:43. I'm just looking on Strava, and my best effort for the mile ever is 5:38. Like, that is just ridiculous to try and run that fast.
Oh, was it earlier than 90s? I might be completely wrong with the 90s there.
What you mean? It stood.
When was that? Yeah, 1999, 7th of July, 1999. So, yeah, similar time of year. But Josh Kerr has been working towards Project 222. So he wants to try and run 3:42, so 222 seconds.
He's doing it for the geography teachers, isn't he? In his Brooks.
Yes, he is indeed. But have you seen all the? So do you know, like when Faith Kipyegon was going for the mile record, and she had like a special speed suit and special spikes and everything? Brooks have done the same for Josh Kerr. So he's got the Josh Kerr 222 speed suit and the Josh Kerr 222 spikes.
Wow.
So yeah, they've developed them specially for this event. But he probably won't have it all his own way, because in the race with him is some very good runners, but he's got Yared Naguse in there with him. And at the moment, Yared Naguse's PB is faster than Josh Kerr's over the mile.
Is it?
So he will be contesting all the way to the line, I would think. Because Yared Naguse, when Jakob ran he ran a 3:43 at the Bowerman Mile at the pre-classic a few years back, and Yared Naguse was right behind Jakob for the whole of that race and crossed the line just after him. So, yeah, I would imagine Yared's going to do exactly the same to Josh on this attempt. But Josh's training's been going really good, and he looks like he's he all of his sessions where he's been trying to hold that pace, he's been smashing them out the park, the sessions. So yeah, we shall see. I don't know. I'd like to see him do it. That would be amazing. So yeah, I'm gonna say yes, he does it, but it's going to be a tight one.
So
it's going to be a difficult thing.
I've just seen the breakdown. I've just had a quick Google of it, and it says this requires maintaining a breakneck pace of about 55.5 seconds per 400 meters.
Yeah, 55-second laps.
So that is absolutely disgraceful.
Yeah, for 4 laps and 9 meters.
So what's that? 3:43. Let's just say 3:37. That's just over like an 11-minute 5K pace, isn't it? That's absolutely disgraceful. That is. I wonder what pace is that then for the mile. So it's obviously 3:43 for the mile. I wonder what that is in Ks. I wonder if it's close to 2 minutes. Well, it can't be close to 2 minutes, can it? Because didn't the kilometre world record get broken recently?
Yes, yeah, last week. And Jake Whiteman was close behind him, but Wanyonyi.
Was it Wanyonyi? Was it on the track or on the road?
On the track. Yeah, it was track. But Wanyonyi, man, he had about 3 different kicks in him. He kicked, and then Jake Whiteman was still on him, and then he kicked again, and then they got to the final 100 meters, and he kicked again. Wow. Crazy. It was very impressive, but I think that was 2 minutes something. Let me.
That level of hurt, that level of pain, is like I was speaking to Sam Bauer the other day, and he was saying, at the moment he would rather do a 100-mile race than try for a sub 90 half.
He would rather do a what?
100-mile race than try for a sub 90 half. And I was like, you know what? I think I kind of get that, because the level of mental torture and physical, obviously, that would be required to run at that level, at your limit, even if it's only for 3 minutes 42 seconds, must be so painful. Like, lactic acid hurts, doesn't it?
Oh yeah.
When that stuff is flowing around your body, having a party around your legs, that is not a nice feeling. And the faster you go, obviously the more you're washing it around.
Yeah.
That's not pleasant. It's not pleasant at all.
Yeah. But Wanyonyi, last week he ran 2:11.83 for the 1,000 meters.
Well,
2 minutes 11.
That's mental.
And Jake Whiteman ran 2 minutes 12.77. So he was 1 second behind him. Well, less than a second behind him. But that puts Jake Whiteman now 5th all time in the 1,000 meters.
So 2 minutes 11 for the 1K.
Yeah.
So that's 10 minutes and 50 seconds then. 5K pace.
Yeah, but no one's going to hold that for 5K, are they? They can only just hold it for 1,000 meters.
Imagine. I mean, no one ever thought that the 2 hour would be broken, but imagine if we are in, 50 years still doing this podcast. Imagine if something crazy like that does happen. What do you think the next big barrier to be broken will be? Like the next big number to break through that seems impossible. Do you reckon a sub 900 meters would ever happen?
No, no. The women's 4 minute mile.
Yeah, that's.
I think that's the next big one that will go down.
Yeah. It's hard to think of anybody faster than Usain Bolt. But it will happen. I bet it will.
Oh,
somebody will come along
at some point, but
yeah, whether it's in our lifetime or not.
Yeah. But the men's mile is going to be a great race, so I'm looking forward to watching that. Definitely. Who else have we got on the thing? When you look at the lineup, it's basically like Great Britain versus the USA. There's only 3 people who aren't from USA or Britain.
Really?
Yeah. So who else we got? So Americans that could do well. Ethan Strand, he's looking good. And then we've got obviously Josh Kerr and Yaron Naguse, but they're going to be the ones that are up the front leading the way. And I think it's going to be a proper good race between Josh and Yared.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like a juicy race.
Yeah, exciting.
Yeah. Shall we continue, Shall we continue?
Yes.
Quick shout out to anybody last week that did the race to the Stones.
Because yes.
I was out running last Saturday and it was rather warm.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of people running twice as far as me, including Brad. Brad Price did his 100K. Wow. Yeah.
Amazing.
So Brad, I don't exactly know what Brad's time was, but he managed to get round. And I think his target was to get back for the England game, because I think the England game, it sounds silly, 10 o'clock at night kickoff and a 7 o'clock start in the morning, but 15 odd hours or whatever it is not unheard. In fact, it's quite normal.
Yeah.
It took me 16 and a half when me and Sam did it. So I know a guy called Nathan Canning who I've known for a little while. He, I think, finished 4th, and amazing. I looked at his Instagram, and he'd been training really, really hard. He was a road runner, but over the last couple of years, he sort of transitioned to running hard on the trails. And anyone that's interested in trail running, I would definitely recommend going to have a look at Nathan's page, because he's very, very, very fast. And the sort of person who you would probably see at UTMB one day trying to challenge for the podium. And he came fourth in the end, but took it out, and he was in the lead, I think, for about 40k, so almost half of it.
Oh wow!
And he just couldn't quite hold on. A couple of others passed him, and he couldn't hang on. But I think he did it in something ridiculous, like 8 hours or something like that. Like in that heat as well.
Yeah, it's mad.
Because the air temperature last Saturday got up to 31 at lunchtime. And that's just the air temperature, let alone how much warmer it feels in the actual direct sunlight. So yeah, anybody that we know that did Race to the Stones last week, congratulations, because it's such a hard race to do. And very, very well done if you did it.
Yeah, awesome work. Did Ian do it? Ian Bowdler?
Yeah, he definitely was down there. I don't know how his race went. I haven't actually caught up with how. I'll just give him a quick search now and see if he's put a video up about it yet. 'Cause he's Ian's Easy Miles, isn't he?
Yes.
So no, his last video here is Warwick Half Marathon. Oh no, sorry, Babs Mill Parkrun. So no, he hasn't mentioned it yet. So I don't know how he got on, but he was in for the 100k. And by the sounds of things, from the reports, because I'm still on the Facebook group that when I did it years ago, when I was trying to tap people up for tips, so many people just said they dropped down to the 50k. Because it is, what happens is when you come round to base camp to 50k, there is a big finish arch, or there is a little right turn past the food tent. And it is so tempting to just say, do you know what, lads, I'm going to tap out. I'm just going to do the 50k today.
So is it 2 laps, the 100k?
No, it's a point to point. But the 50k finishes, it's got a whole base camp section. So people camp there overnight. You can pay to do 50k, either the front or the back half. You can do 100k straight through. You can do 100k and camp the night. So
do 50k a day.
Yeah. Or you can do 50k and sort your own accommodation out. So some people just do that, and apparently it's a good atmosphere. And also, it's probably worth mentioning about Endure 24, isn't it? Because I know Freddie went over to do Endure, and that was the week before, though, wasn't it? I think.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, Leeds one was.
Yeah, but I remember Freddie saying something along the lines of, a bit like what I was saying about Warwick Castle. Oh, it's not like it used to be.
Yeah, it's changed.
It's changed. Yeah, they're changing it. I don't like the way it's going. So I don't quite know what those changes have been, but I think he said something along the lines of they're more interested in teams entering now.
Oh, okay. So they get more money from
individual entrants, maybe. So he said on the first lap, I watched his video. On the first lap, there's people doing like 4-minute Ks and 6-minute miles on the first lap. And but that, it does look good. It does interest me. But one thing that I've heard mentioned as well, I think it was Neil Gamble I heard say this, is that if you stop over after you've finished on the Saturday night, you all get kicked off quite early on Sunday morning. So
wow, okay.
So after,
so you've run for 24 hours and then you've got to jump straight in the car and try and drive.
Yeah. So, and I'm sure he was talking about...
That's not dangerous at all.
Yeah. I know he was talking about another race. Was it Equinox or something that he's done before? Which is a similar idea, but they give you the whole Sunday evening to recover if you want to. And I think you can stop there until the Monday, maybe. I think that's what it's called. So
that's how you'd want it, isn't it? Do it as like a proper...
weekend
event.
Another thing worth mentioning as well, I think there's still tickets available if anyone is interested who lives up by us and who's interested in this sort of thing. I would be if I weren't doing Loch Ness, but there is a backyard ultra at the Wyre Forest.
It's really?
Yeah.
Hopefully not up that hill.
Yes, it is. So it's around. My mate Tom went and ran a recce of the loop, and it's basically the Parkrun route. It's not far off the Parkrun. So imagine doing that every hour. I'm pretty sure that's what he said. I don't know if he actually said it's the hill, because anyone who's run Wyre Forest will know the hill, what we're on about. I'm not sure if it's that exact hill, but it's a very hilly part of the world anyway. And yeah, thing is with the Wyre Forest is when you park up by the visitor centre, you're on the top of the hill and you've got no choice but to go down. So you obviously got to come back up. And so, yeah, but I don't know when the date of that is. So maybe somebody like Alex Bowden might be interested in something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe. You might fancy a nice 4-mile walk every hour. I've got to stop taking the mick because he's so much faster than me. He's so much better at running than me. But yeah, so that's happening, I think, soon. But yes. So shall I quickly mention about my ultra that I did last week?
Yes. I was going to say, do you want to go through that?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how much I mentioned about it last week, so I can't remember what I said, but I did the Worcestershire Way. Mm-hmm. Wow, I didn't, did I?
Well, yeah.
I tried. Saturday morning, started 5:30 last week, 5:45, and I knew it was going to be hard because I'd seen the weather forecast, but I knew that I didn't want to do I love to do the Worcestershire Way once a year. And I've just sort of looked ahead and I didn't know where to put it in my diary. So I thought, yeah, I'll do it in the summer. I've got a weekend. I'm going to do it now. Brilliant. There's a heat wave. Well, we'll do it anyway. See what happens. And yeah, because I didn't really want to do it halfway through the Loch Ness training block.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway, so I went for it last week and first 30K, the first, nearly 2/3 of it went really, really well. But then the last bit absolutely smashed me. So a few things happened along the way. The first of which was I didn't drink enough water. I think that was the biggest problem. Yeah. Now, when I'm running with my hydration vest, my pack on, personal preference, I don't like carrying a lot. I just don't like having a heavy bag if I can help it. And water's heavy. Yeah. So I sacrifice water, which is absolutely mental behavior. I know that. So what I did was the night before, we did the podcast in the day, didn't we?
Yes. That
Friday night, I went and drove to 3 drop locations and I dropped 3 bags. And at each drop station, let's call it an aid station. It wasn't an aid station, just a plastic bag in a bush. I put, about a litre of water. And in every aid station, there was more water than the one before it. So at the end aid station, there was about 2 litres because I knew I'd be really struggling by then. And the middle one was a litre and a half. I got to my first aid station having done 20K, so a half marathon-ish. And all I'd drunk was a litre because I had my emergency 500ml in my bag. And I was like, right, I don't want to touch that if I don't have to. And then I refilled and then I carried on to the next aid station. And I needed to have a good old lie down, a good sit down then. And I got to that one. I got to 30K. I've been really looking forward to my treats that were in that bag. I know you've just seen me and heard me eat my opal fruits, but I wanted to be as litter conscious as possible and not have wrappers. So I thought, right, I'll go for fruit pastels. Love me a fruit pastel. Got there, looking forward to them all morning, taking me about 5.5 hours to get to 30K. And I was greeted with a torn open Sainsbury's bag and my fruit pastels were upturned. They'd been opened the wrong way And I looked inside and there was about 6 left. And I saw teeth marks. Mm-hmm. So I'm deducing from that a badger or a fox has smashed all my fruit pastels.
But that badger was going to be on a proper sugar high. It would probably go around the field like that old video from when the internet first came on. Badger, 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 badger.
Yeah, but like honestly, I mean, I was just gutted because I was looking forward to that because that sugar hit. I really wanted it, and yeah, I'm pretty sure it was a badger. I don't know what makes me think it was a badger. I just think it was for some reason. I'm saying it's a badger.
It can't have been a badger because everybody knows badger loves
mashed potato.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's the fisherman's catch. But yeah, so I don't know. I saw these teeth marks. So I had about 6 fruit pastels left. Now, would you have eaten them?
If I was 30k into an ultra, probably, yeah.
Well, I did. Oh, yeah.
And then got what is it that badgers have? TB.
Yeah, that's what I say in my video. I say these 8 fruit pastels might cost me my life because they're covered in TB, but I'm willing to take the risk. So yeah, I wonder if I'll get hammered by environmentalists because I'm putting my video out tomorrow, and there's a badger running around Bewdley now with type 2 diabetes because of me. Or choked to death or something, but I don't think any wildlife was harmed in the making of my ultramarathon. But anyway, along the route, 2 things happened. So I've been chatting to a guy called Liam, who is in our Parkrun challenge. We'll mention Liam, no doubt, along the way. Liam said, funnily enough, he was running the Worcestershire Way the same day, and he ran the opposite way. And I saw Liam and his mate Dan, it was Dan, at around about the halfway mark, which was awesome. So we had a quick chat, and then they were in good spirits, and they ended up getting the job done and getting it completed. So fair play to you, lads. And I also saw along the route a race. There was a race happening. There was an ultramarathon going on called the Hallow 12 Parish Ultra or something like that. And it was a 40 miler.
Is that what Rachel D was doing?
Yes. So I saw Rachel. She's like, Ella. I saw Rachel at a really good time. So I was basically crying over my half-eaten TB smeared fruit pastels. And Rachel came over to be a shoulder to cry on. So I saw Rachel, which was great. I saw a couple of other people called SJ and Kev, another guy called John, who were ramming for a little bit. But this ultra, right? So Race to the Stones, 60 mile, 100k, 200 quid, 190 quid to enter. The Hallow, 40 mile ultra, 20 quid.
Oh, what? That's amazing.
Aren't these small events? I can't keep saying it enough. Small events are the one, Yeah. And I don't want to belittle anyone. I'm sorry if that sounds like I am, who's gone to do Race to the Stones and all that, because it is a great event. It's the supplies you'll get, the support you could get is amazing. But 20 quid for a 40 mile ultra, that's amazing value.
Yeah.
And there were people walking it. There were different routes you could do. There was a marathon. There was a 10 mile option or something like that. And it was great. So I saw a few people I knew, which was lovely. And then they shared the route with me for a little while. And then going towards my next drop bag, I just fell to pieces. I just did a Thomas Tuchel. I just imploded. I hit AZ5. For anyone that knows what, if anybody is up on Chernobyl, I just absolutely just completely capitulated. And the lack of water, the lack of eating properly really caught up with me. And I was only, bear in mind a downhill finish as well, I think I was 7k, so just over 4 mile away. And I called it. And I just thought, I cannot take another step. Like I know it sounds dramatic and a bit diva-ish and probably lacking a bit of grit, but I just thought, what's the point? I'm literally doing a Saturday long run. Yeah. What is the point in carrying on? There's no point. And I wish I could describe to you, of course, we all know, those of us that live in the UK, the ferociousness of the midday sun in unexposed areas, like with no wind. There was no wind, and there were no trees in the last couple of miles, and it just absolutely ruined me. And I just thought, you know what, Laura's she was on her way to come and get me from the end, and I thought, at this rate, it's going to take me 2 hours to do like 7 miles, to do like 5 mile. So I'm just going to call it. I'm just going to call this a DNF, and decided to pull the plug. Went and laid on the gravel in the most uncomfortable wait for a lift home I've ever had in my life. And she came and got me, and we went home.
Yeah. I somehow managed to get a camera on you, didn't I, when you were phoning Laura? Somehow.
What?
And filmed your phone call to her. My story on Instagram.
Help me! Help! Yeah, I was a real pathetic loser calling for help. So, was that from a Little Shop of Horrors? I don't even know what that's from.
It's from the 1958 version of The Fly.
Oh, is it? As in The Fly with Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah, so the 90s remake one with Jeff Goldblum. That's from the 1958 version with Vincent Price. But so the thing saying help me is what's his name? Thingy Brundle, who is turned into a fly at the end, and he's stuck in a spider's web.
Right, okay.
And the spider's about to go and eat him.
But no one realizes that he's still him. He's a human within the web.
That they at the end of the film, they know that he's the fly somewhere, but they don't know where he is. And a little kid, the son of the family, sees him in the spider's web and goes in and goes, "But I've seen the fly. He's outside in the spider's web." And they go outside, and the spider's just about to eat him. So they throw a rock on him to kill them both, kill the spider and the fly.
Oh, do they?
Out their misery. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Sorry, I've just ruined the end of the film there for anybody who hasn't seen it. But you've had since 1958 to watch it, so if you haven't watched it by now,
you probably never will. But yeah, so it goes down as a DNF. My 5th attempt in the Worcestershire Way, and I got just over 45k in of 51k, and called it quits. People will say that I could have carried on, but I wish you could have been me for that little moment in time. It was just horrendous. The heat, the sun, the dehydration was ridiculous. I don't think I've ever been that dehydrated before. It's really weird. I was feeling at one point, right? You know, on Everest, when, I don't know if you've seen the film, but there are reports of when you go hypothermic, essentially.
Yeah.
Your brain tells you that you're hot. So that there are reports of people stripping off. Yeah. I did basically the same, right? I was, but the opposite. Without shivering, I was so tired walking up this hill, and I was so hot. I just thought, right, I'll have a little sit down. So I literally sat in the middle of the footpath, and then I had a little lie down, and then I closed my eyes in the full sun. I thought, and I was like, am I asleep? I was like, I think I'm falling asleep here. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm going to be beetroot in about 30 seconds. Don't do that. But I literally could have nodded off in that moment. I could have sat and just like slept in the sun. And it was almost like I just didn't care anymore. But so a lot of lessons learned. I needed more aid stations, and I needed more water.
Yeah, especially in that weather.
Yeah.
But so at this time of year, when you're doing the summer version of it, you definitely need to. You could have probably got away with it in the winter one that you do.
Yeah. So I mean, I have done it. I've done it with less water, faster. years ago. So it is definitely possible. But I've never run in heat and conditions like that before. It was borderline dreadful. No,
Yeah.
it was dreadful towards the end. So I would, probably won't be doing that exact same routine again. But it was good fun though. I made a video out of it. I'm putting it out tomorrow, and it's a long one. It's 56 minutes.
Oh wow. Okay.
So it's half the length of this podcast. So yeah, it's going to be. It's one of those videos that I like doing them every now and again, the long ones, because it's like I like kind of. The ultras last for a long time. I don't want to make a 7-minute video about an ultra because you can watch that video and think, oh, ultras probably aren't that hard. They only last a few minutes. But I want to try and film the bad times as well as the good times. And when a bit like YouTube in general, don't be fooled by short form content, because short form normally leans quite heavily towards the highlights and the good things in life.
Yes.
And that's why I think a lot of us may be listening to this because they probably watched our channels before we started the podcast. So they probably are fond of YouTube. I think a long YouTube video any day, maybe I'm showing my age, is better than a short TikTok or an Instagram video. I'd much rather be a YouTuber than a TikToker, put it that way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, so it does have almost like a short film quality to it, because I've tried to give it a bit of production value with some music and some drone stuff, which, speak of the devil, did I tell you about my drone this time last week?
Yes.
It played a blinder. It was brilliant. So if it flies off again, it's paid for itself. So I got a few shots last week on the Worcestershire Way that I was so happy with that I'm more than happy if it doesn't owe me anything. So yes. But anyway, so that's the end of my little story last Saturday morning, and
Nice.
Didn't quite make it. And 2027, I'll probably choose a much cooler time, maybe, I don't know, March or April or October, and give it another good go one day next year.
So how many times have you done it? 5?
Yeah.
And what months have you done it in so far?
I've done it November, December, July. But this first one I did it in July was in the middle of the night. So I did it this time last year, and it was overnight. So
are you tempted to try and do it over the next, I don't know, 10 years, in every month?
That's a good idea. Yeah, that is a really good idea, actually. Oh, I could do it in January, couldn't I? Get 2027s done nice and early. Yeah, that's a good shout. That is a good shout. Yeah. So I won't be in a hurry to do July again. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So before we go on to what is happening tomorrow, the start of something tomorrow, I'm just gonna do a bit of a shameless plug, if that's okay.
Have you made stuff?
I've got new stuff coming out. Yeah, I've got new stuff.
Yeah, bring it on.
I've done a complete restock of my tie-dye running tees. So nice. They are now back fully in stock, which has taken far too long.
Is this what you were modelling the other day?
Yes. So that's these are the other things that I have now done. So the first of the things is a new running tee.
That's so cool.
Which is, I've done a fluorescent orange version, and I've also done a fluorescent pink version.
Nice.
So the tie-dye bit is across the left shoulder, and then the print on the front and the detail on the back is reflective print. So they will be good for the evenings and winter as well. Even though we're in the middle of summer right now, they will be good when it gets to winter because the print's reflective.
When we run on the roads with club on Tuesday and Thursday in the dark, we're not allowed to run.
Yeah, same
unless
here.
you have a bright, because they've got insurance things. Yeah. So if you come dressed in black, you have to wear the vest of shame.
Yes.
And you look like you work on a building site because it's
Yeah.
it's a high vis vest.
Yeah, we've got exactly the same. So, like, I printed a load of tees for the club, which were in the fluorescent colours with reflective bits on, so
Nice.
people could have club t-shirts to train in for the winter as well. But yeah, I'm quite
Nice,
pleased
mate.
with how these have come out. So yeah, the front's got the normal Obi-Wan Run Club design, but on the back, I've got my my Obi-Wan digital
Nice.
design,
Analog.
which when you put it on its side, is that the right way?
No, other way.
Sorry, I'm looking it backwards and I on the thingy. So
yeah, that looks cool, man.
It's going down. So
Love
that's
it.
cool. And then the other thing that I've recently done is I have done some
Legionnaires.
Legionnaires hats. So
they've got mate, I could have done with one of them last week.
I was going to say. So they've got an adjustable back, so you can adjust it to the size of your head. But you can, if you want to, just use it as a normal hat. So you can tuck the back bit up and just have it as a normal running hat, which is cool. Or you can have it with the bit out the back to cover your neck.
Forget Parkrun tomorrow. I'll go and do Worcestershire Way again tomorrow. I'll do it an hour quicker as well with one of them.
Yeah. So
that's smart. That's like a creamy.
It's like a khaki sand color,
Saharan color. I like it.
And then I decided to match the color of the toggle of the thing on the back with the color of the patch on the front and the back.
Nice. Do you know some other really hot weather ultra gear that I wasn't aware of until recently? They're called sun hoodies. They're like ultra lightweight, long sleeve hoodies that you wear, obviously, to keep the sun off you. And they're designed, obviously, and they've got, I don't know how, but they've got some sort of SPF built into them.
Yeah.
But they're a really, and there's a brand you've probably heard of called Fractal who sell them.
Yes.
And they're about they are about 90 quid though.
Oh,
but
wow.
they're called sun hoodies.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Because Nike have just released that ACG. What have they called it? Like it's like a long sleeve. It's basically what Kipchoge wore in that marathon last year, and it's like a long sleeve top, but it's covered in holes.
Yeah.
And then there's a massive hole in the inside of your arm, massive hole in your armpit, and it's supposed to improve wind flow to keep you cooler, even though it's a long sleeve top.
Imagine if you didn't put your sun cream on underneath those bits, though. Imagine the patches.
Be like a guy from the 70s in a what's called what were they called? Thingy string vest.
Oh yeah, string vest. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, so all that new stuff is going to be on my website it'll be on the morning that this pod comes out, so they should be online as we speak, which is good.
Excellent. So what's your website? How can people find it?
So the website is www.theobi1.co.uk. So THEOB1.co.uk.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You know what to do, peeps. You know what to do. And there is, I think, could just be perfectly in time. There is some Running the Red Line stock on there, is there not?
Yes, there is still some of the first release of Running the Red Line merch still available. It's limited because we were doing a limited run of all of that stuff. So go and get those whilst you still can. I think there is still some tees left. Yeah, there's unfortunately no mediums left in the tees. So if you've got a medium, you are one of the lucky ones. But there's some smalls, larges, and extra large left. There's some mugs left. There's a few mugs. They will be the final ones of those design. that will be available. So if
Yeah.
you want a mug, go and get one of those last of the first batch. And then there's some beanies left as well. I might restock the beanies though. So
They were
ready
quite
for
popular,
winter.
weren't they?
Yeah, for the reflective beanies.
People
might restock them for
people
the winter.
enjoyed the beanies. Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, go and check out the running tees and the mugs, because once they are gone, and we will be doing some more in the future, some different designs. But yeah, that first run, yeah, those once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, right. So, shall we then? Have you got anything else on your list of items, or should we move on to the main event?
I have, but I don't know where me things have gone, because I've been moving around and the fan's blown all my paper everywhere. Oh yes, I had one more thing before we move on, and it was a. Although actually we can do that in the comments and emails bit. Yeah, no. So let's move on to what's happening tomorrow.
Right. So yeah, tomorrow. Well, very exciting, because we're going to be joined by the Messiah. I don't know why I keep calling him the Messiah. Cometh the hour, cometh the man. Cometh the hour, cometh the Sam. The bacon Meister.
The Baconator.
The Baconator is on his way up. No, he's going to do an early morning. Oh, what I like about Sam, on our WhatsApp group of YouTubers, he's been saying, any chance we can all get together? I think he first said it about 12 years ago. And everyone does that thing in the YouTube group, in a WhatsApp group, where they sort of say, yeah, that would be good. But it never actually happens. So Sam has just got so fed up with it that he said, right, I'm coming to Arrow Valley for God's sake.
Yeah.
So meet me there. So yes, Sam Bacon of Lighted Up fame is coming to have a good run round a park tomorrow.
And we have, in line with Sam coming up tomorrow, decided to start this year's Parkrun in the Red Line.
The League of Legends
starts tomorrow.
Yes.
So yeah, we have had a really good response actually to entries into the competition. We have currently.
Yeah, go on. Say how many we've got.
We have 75 people on the list. We did say we were going to cap it at 100, but we've got 75 at the moment, and 11 of those are ladies, which is awesome. So we can have a separate ladies and men's top 10.
Make that 79, because with 2 hours to go until our midnight deadline, we've had 4 new entrants.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
Now, can you think of who they might be? 4 have come at once.
Oh, 4 have come at once, all from the same place.
All from the same family.
Ah, is it the Fentons?
No.
No. Oh, what other family would it be? Local?
Yes. Can you name a family that would be very, very excited if they heard some slap bass? It's a family that like to keep it in the family. Sorry, it runs in the family. Running in the family was a title of one of the podcasts.
Oh, really? Have they all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. TQ has just said, stick the Quiney boys, all 4 of us, on the Parkrun listing.
Yes, get in. And I hope they're coming down to Arrow Valley tomorrow, because they're doing their Parkrun tour at the moment, aren't they?
And I just text him.
They're doing their Parkrun tour and giving each Parkrun that they go to. Sorry, by the way, that was terrible guessing from me. I can't believe it took me that long. But they're doing their Parkrun tour and giving each of their Parkruns that they do a rating when they've done it based on different things. So they need to come and do Arrow Valley. Also, I was chatting with Adam Hill the other day, and he was like, we need to get them Quiney boys down to Arrow Valley so we can have a good dust up.
We do. bit of a trick for you. No, I'm going to get rid of that. Bit of a trick for you because I'm giving him a reason to not come. I'm going to say could be good for the rating system. For the rating system. Yeah, right. We'll see what he says.
And we got all 4 of them in.
Yes. Yeah. Says RQ, KQ, TQ, and AQ. So yeah.
Excellent.
Bit of a, I wonder. So yeah. So why don't you remind us all and me of the rules and how you can win this illustrious competition?
So this year, instead of going off PB, we are going like in time. We are going off age grade PB. So what is your best age grade you've run? And through that, you don't even need to run a PB to get an age grade PB. Because if your PB is a couple of years ago, you could run slower than your PB, but get a better age grade because you are a bit older. For example, I'm going to use the Baconator as an example for that.
The Baconator.
Because when I was putting in everybody's things into the spreadsheet last night and today, I noticed that Sam's PB is 1924 from December 2024.
Right.
But his age grade PB is from the 4th of July this year, where he ran 1930. So he ran 6 seconds slower, but got a better age grade because he is now 2 years older.
Yeah. Okay.
So that we're using age grade this year rather than PB time. So whatever your age grade PB is at this point, that is the metric we are using to then see how much over or under you run of that each week for the next 6 weeks. So we will take your time, and the best of those 6 weeks will be so it's the best one of 6. So it could be that you just go and run one park run, or it could be that you do all 6. It is up to you how many you do, but we will take your best age grade result from those 6 weeks and put it up against your current age grade PB and see how many percent above or below you achieve.
Yeah, exciting. So we kind of demoed mine last week as well. I think my age grade is about 68, 69, 70, something like that. And we think a 4 or 5% improvement would probably be enough to win. But if you do that, you've probably run out of your skin.
Yes. It's going to take a lot to improve by 5%, yeah.
And had a birthday, maybe.
Yes.
So I wonder as well, if we do this competition, because we seem to keep doing it, if we keep the same rules, maybe we choose a different month next year. Maybe we could be like the Barkley Marathons and no one ever really knows when it's going to happen. And we don't really know.
Well, we're later this year than we were last year. We started at the start of July last year, I'm sure.
Did we? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about it happening now is that I think it gives people a bit of purpose over the summer holidays, and sometimes July and August are the hardest months to run in for all sorts of reasons. And it's not like we're asking people to go out and run marathons. It's only 5K. If it doesn't go well, then it doesn't exactly ruin your life. So, yeah, just go and have a bit of fun at your local park run. And
but don't hurt yourself.
Yes. Drink plenty of water. Don't do what I did last week.
Yeah.
And drink plenty of water, please. But all you need is one effort, technically, out of 6, isn't it? You don't have to do it every 6 weeks.
Yeah. You haven't got to go all out every week. You could run all 6. You'll still get 6 scores on the board, but you could do 2 of them at effort and then just jog the others. It's
So
completely up to you.
your key metric to keep your eye on is your age grade. So everybody should know, or go on the Parkrun app, go on your Parkrun space on the website, click yourself, find yourself, and you'll know what your fastest age grade is or your highest. That is your new target to beat, not your time. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Obviously, your time is a guide.
Yeah. But if you beat your time, you're going to beat your age grade no matter what, aren't you? So.
Well, Sam, the Baconator. Oh, no, the Baconator didn't he?
Yeah, he did a slower time, but got a better age grade. But if he beats his PB time, his age grade will go up anyway. So,
yeah, so if you do get a PB, then you almost certainly will nudge your age grade up.
Yes.
So, exciting. We think it's a much more level playing field now for everybody.
Yeah.
But I'm sure we'll find out that there'll be loopholes. Someone's done one parkrun 19 years ago or something like that. But do you want to add a last minute caveat in there or anything like that? Like you have to have done at least 3 parkruns before or something like that? Or does it matter? Does it?
No.
No, you just have to be ready. You just have to have an age grade previous to Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, if you've only done one parkrun and it was 10 years ago, then that makes it a bit easier, doesn't it? So we might look into that, but
you might have been, but you might not be in the shape that you were in 10 years ago. So you never know.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah. So shall we just reel off the list so people know who's in it? By the way, we've just had a last minute, even closer to the 11th hour than the Quine is. We've just had a last minute. I've just noticed that their email was in spam.
Oh, what?
So I've just put it in the outbox. I've just put it in the inbox now.
Well, that must have come like in the last couple of hours because I was checking them all earlier.
It came half an hour ago. Corey Legister.
Excellent.
So Corey is in and has just given us his deets.
Right. So would you like me to go through? I've put them in alphabetical order according to surnames.
Yes. Reel them off.
So,
this is going to be radio gold now. Brett is going to say 80 people's names.
Obviously, Corey Legister, haven't got on my list, but he's in. The Quine is AQ, KQ, TQ, RQ. Yeah. They are all in. Then we have David Atkins, Sam Baconator, Gaz Barker, Carl Bennett, Tom Berron, Jack Blackburn, Grant Bly, Adam Bodin, Alex Bodin, Paul Brogdon, Richard Kane, Ollie Charles, Lee Chesterton, Nathan Cleary, James Clifton, Brett Crow, Neil Cunningham, the Worcester Kipchoge, K-Dog, Kieran Deegan.
The Worcester Kipchoge's in, yes!
Jordan Deere, Terry Doherty, Michael Donkin, Robert Dronzek, Brett Elesmore, Richard Erdele, Will George, Sam Goodall, Mark Griffiths, Peter Gew, Liam Hadfield, Nathan Hampson, Anton Hardy, Stephen Hardy, Matt Hember, Phil Hickey, Sean Hill, Mark Hurd, George Kelly, Jordan Knapp, Mark Lansbury, Mike Lee, Simon Lee, Rodney Lowe, Andy Maguire, Neil Marsh, Nathan Metcalf, Robert Mills, diddle-diddle-doo, do-do-do, Mark Mystery Burton, Colin Nichols, Matt Nichols, Alan Nutton, dressed as Lamb, Will Packham, Reese Porter, Nick Points, Jason Pritchard, Matt's brother, Chris Reynolds, Rob Scott, James Smart, Darren Suster, Chris Tamborough, Rick Taylor, Gareth Thomas, John Turner, Cam Wilson, Kurt Wilson. And then we go on to the ladies. Liz Brown, Yana Booktova, Gemma Doherty, Sarah Fox, Hayley Kirkham, Sean Morgan, Julie Morris, Kaylee Pickersgill, Charlotte Taylor, Kerry Vine, and Rachel Watson.
Amazing. That is Can you believe we have that many people listen to the podcast?
I know.
Isn't it mad?
It is.
It's
ridiculous.
like most of our listeners have said, yeah, go on, I'll do that. How cool is that? Amazing. Yeah. Thank you so much that everyone who's entered. That's that's amazing. So how exciting to see how this all plays out. And we still haven't thought of a prize, have we? Or have we?
We've not confirmed what the prize will be, but there will definitely be a prize.
Yeah. Okay.
And possibly the same as we did last year. Anybody who gets a PB will possibly have a little token as well to commemorate their entrance into the competition.
Phenomenal. Amazing scenes. Well, that's very, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the admin of 80 people every week this year.
Well, I actually think that you will quite enjoy that. I know you say it sort of sarcastically, but I think you actually will quite enjoy it because you're a little bookworm and you do quite like, burying your head in data.
Yeah, into stats, yeah.
So we'll have to come up with a rota or something.
Nah.
Because you can't do it all.
No, because I know how good you are with numbers.
I can do data entry. Come on. I can literally copy something off a phone and then
you can do the data entry, but then you've got to do the maths.
Just write a little code in there so it sorts it out for you. Then I don't have to do it.
Yeah, I could do that, but no, it's okay. It's fine.
But so we're going to have 6 weeks of that to go through. By the way, I still don't know what to do tomorrow. 5K is telling me this, which is quite interesting. I don't know if I'm just going to hold this up to the screen. Strava has got faith in me. That's what it's saying. My current
18:59
5K prediction is.
And what pace am I going out at tomorrow? 19.
But the Baconator has reduced his.
Nah, he hasn't.
He's cooled his jet to 19:15, which is quite sensible because he ran 19:30.
No, he reckons he has. He hasn't, because I'm going out at 19 pace and he better be on my shoulder.
I have warned Sam. I say, you driving 3 hours to get shouted at. So, enjoy the journey.
I'm encouraging. I'm encouraging.
Yeah, sort of. If you're not behind me, but by the end of this corner, threatening more like, but quite intimidating. But yeah, I think I'm going to put my Asics Metaspeed Skies on tomorrow.
Ooh, very nice.
Because I remember running in them for the Birmingham half, and they were pretty sexy. But I remember thinking, I wonder if these things would operate even better, running a bit faster. So I might give them a go tomorrow morning. And
well, I went down to Parkrun last week, and I put the Adios Pro 3 on, and I've always said that the Adios Pro 3 I wouldn't use for a 5K race. So I don't think they're the fastest of shoes for a marathon, and for like a smooth pace. Brilliant, but for like faster stuff, I don't think they're the best. But I ran surprisingly well in them. They felt decent. I set off way too fast. I said in my head, I'm going to run 19 today. I'm just going to run 19, practice pacing for Andy and Sam. Set off with the pack, looked down at my watch about 800 meters in, and went, "Why am I running at this pace?" So I slowed down, and then went, "Do you know what? Go on, let's have a go." So I then started chasing everybody in front of me, and I ended up running 17:48. So, yeah.
Hang on, you're practicing 19-minute pace?
No,
that's another thing I'm going to have to warn Sam about. Okay, your 19-minute parkrun you want? Yeah,
that was my idea. That was my idea. Stood on the start line. And then
Okay.
I set off with everybody, looked down and went, why am I running this fast? So slowed down to 19-minute pace and then went, nah, go on, I'll have a go, and started chasing everybody.
So that's only 30 seconds then off your PB, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah, basically.
Ish. That's not a bad
Yeah.
showing, is it? Is that your
Yeah.
first time in the 17s for a while?
Yeah. First time this year.
Ah, so are you going to go for an age grade PB at some point over this?
I will at some
6
point
weeks?
in this 6 weeks, but when, I don't know, because I've got lots of things on over the next few weeks on the weekends, which might mean that I can't make Parkrun. So,
Yeah.
Or the Parkruns I can make might not be the fastest. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay. Well, tomorrow, to be encouraging to Sam, I was thinking about dropping some Mighty Boosh quotes in there to see if I keep thinking. In fact, when because I told him I was coming down to London Marathon, when I optimistically thought I'd be able to see everyone who ran past me, the only person I saw was Leggett Lee, and I think I just shouted, "Christophe Dugarry!" I just shouted some Birmingham City player at him. I can't remember what I said. But I didn't see anybody else. But I was going to shout to, bear in mind, 1 million people spectating, 60,000 people on the course. I don't know how he would have heard this, but I was going to shout to Sam as he ran past me, "I'm fresh water." It's all salty. But sadly, I didn't see him. So I was going to say I'm fresh water, but I might say that till tomorrow.
Talking of the Boosh, the last few nights when I've gone to bed, I've not wanted to. I've wanted to try and stop scrolling on my phone whilst I'm in bed. So the last few nights, I've been putting my phone down, putting it on charge, leave that. So I went through my DVDs and thought, what can I put on the TV to watch just before I go to bed? And I picked out, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's so good, a TV series called Nathan Barley.
See, I never got into it, but I know the cast is he a computer guy or something?
No,
or it's TV.
It was early 2000s, so it was like just when
mobile phones,
internet was coming onto phones, and internet websites were becoming places to put short videos and it was like the birth of influencer sort of things. Not influencer as in like selling your stuff, but putting on memes or funny videos or things like that. And it's written by Charlie Brooker and Chris Morris, so you can tell the sort of comedy it is. And the main character, I can't remember what his name is, but the other main character is Julian Barrett from Mighty Boosh. And Noel Fielding is in it at one point. And what's his name? Who's in the IT crowd is in it at some point.
The Irish guy.
No, the other one. Richard Ayoade. Yeah. So there's loads of people from that comedy faction who you recognise all throughout the programme. But it's so funny. And it's like Nathan Barley, the main character, is like a not very cool guy trying to be cool. And he's like a wannabe Banksy.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, it's brilliant. So if you get the chance, watch it. It's so funny.
Right. Okay. Yeah. I don't even have a DVD player anymore, sadly.
What?
No. I haven't had a DVD player since before COVID. Chucked it. Just don't have any DVDs in the house. I'm not a sentimental person, much to my detriment sometimes. So I'm a chucker awayer. which sometimes part of me hates. But I'm not a cluttery sort of person. A bit messy, a little bit messy. I admit that, but I've never liked stuff. I'm not a good collector of things.
Yeah,
and
I'm the complete opposite. I've still got all of my toys from when I was a kid. Right next to me, in the case next to me, is all my He-Man figures from when I was a kid.
So, really?
Yeah, all of my original He-Man figures. Yeah, I'll show you. There's He-Man with all of his weapons and everything.
That's in such good condition as well.
Well, his nose is bitten off, but other than that, it's in decent condition.
Wow, that's well, maybe 40 years old.
And then next to him,
Skeletor.
Skeletor, yeah.
There he is. I always get Skeletor and Shredder mixed up.
You can't get Shredder and Skeletor mixed up.
I think it's because they start with an S. Shredder is turtles, isn't he? Yes. Who's your favourite turtle?
Michelangelo, because he's a party dude.
Well, it has to be Michelangelo, doesn't it? The pizza loving,
yeah,
chilled out guy. I used to quite like Raphael as well, just because I love the colour red.
Yeah, but Raphael is cool but crude.
Yeah, see, we've been down this road, haven't we? Because I didn't know the rhyme, because Amelia had a go at me, didn't she?
Yeah.
And I think Donatello is just incredibly fun to say. Imagine if that was your name, Donatello.
Yeah.
That is a crazy name. That is so good.
But they were named after famous artists, weren't they?
Who are we missing? Who's the green one?
It's green. It wasn't a green.
Orange.
They're all green. Michelangelo was orange.
Michelangelo's orange.
Leonardo.
Who's blue?
Leonardo leads. He's blue. Donatello does machines. He's purple.
Yeah.
Raphael is cool but crude. He's red. And Michelangelo is a party dude. And he's orange.
Yeah. Amelia's just like, I can just feel her. She's about to write in again. She's going to have a go at me.
Yeah. And in the case, the other side of me is all my old Transformers as well.
Really? That is... See, to me, that's just a lot of things that require shelves, that sit on shelves.
That is the thing. Yeah.
And I'm just I don't know. I'm just not a... But when I look around here, there's so much junk on my sides of my on the windowsill and stuff. But on the whole, I'm not really a very good hoarder. I do.
I can't believe you haven't got a DVD player. I've still got a VHS player hooked up to my TV.
Yeah, that does not surprise me. You're like Betamax guy. Do you remember him?
Yeah.
Look at him shine.
Yeah.
Look at him shining.
Look at him shining. Popular draws out.
Look at him shine. No, I haven't had a DVD player for absolutely ages. Probably since, I think at least 10 years. Since I've known Laura, I don't recall ever putting a DVD in the machine to watch. Yeah, we're Netflix generation now. We're Gen Z wannabes.
Gen Z, do you mean? Yeah. We're English.
No, nobody says Gen Z, though, do they?
Well,
you're you're so old. You're the only person that says Gen Z. It's Gen Z.
Yeah, I'm one of them weird in between generations as well, because I'm not.
So you're not millennial.
Well, I am, but I'm like right on the cusp of the start of millennials and the cusp of the end of what was it before?
Generation X.
X was it?
I think.
Yeah, I'm on that weird cusp area between the two. Because like the period that I am is a really interesting age, because we experienced life before technology
Yeah.
and after technology.
What do you mean after?
Like we were where the birth of like computers being in schools and mobile phones when you were a teenager and stuff. But we
Yeah.
experienced life before any of that as well.
Yeah. Like,
So, like the generation before grew up all through their teenage years and grew into adults without any technology at all. It was all
yeah.
analog. And then the generation afterwards, like millennials, they grew up with computers all throughout their teenage years and became adults having computers. But we had the first part of our childhood and first part of life without technology, and then our teenage years into adult was all technology.
Yeah. Like another thing as well is do you remember in the mid noughties when Freeview became a thing, and then all these extra channels start like Dave and all these channels started appearing. We just had 1, 2, 3, and 4, and if you were lucky, your family had Sky, and even on Sky, the channels were limited really, unless they'd gone the whole hog and they got the movies and sports. And even then, there was only Sky Sports 1, 2, and 3. There's not like Sky Sports F1 and main event and golf and all this stuff like there is now. But I used to watch. I tell you what, I used to be addicted by, because we had Sky for about a year before my dad realised. I don't think he realised what was coming out of the account, and then I think he realised one year he's like, I'm not paying for this. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So he cancelled it. But I remember I used to watch MTV and VH1.
Yes.
And that was my life. I remember. But the thing is, you'd get MTV was great because you'd get because there was MTV2 as well that came along, didn't it? So that was more an alternative channel, I think, wasn't it? So MTV would be great for your Offspring and your whatever was big at the time, and Sum 41 and all those, all of a sudden I'm 14 again. And then I'd be watching VH1 and I'd be watching like Joni Mitchell and like all these classic hippie. Yeah. And there was a feature on VH1 called Pop-Up Video. Do you remember that? Pop-Up Video.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember and it was like, it would just be a random video. And it would be like, who sang... I was going to say, I only know Alan Partridge now. But,
why
birds? You get the general idea.
It's too high.
No, I paid Paradise to put up a parking lot. What's that song?
Yeah. Don't always seem to go. Don't know what you got to this gone. Pay Paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yeah, so songs like that. I remember just like learning those songs, and I'd never. But like when I think about my nephew, for example, now who's 11, he's like cool, if you know what I mean. He's TikTok generation. He's like so influenced by. I don't know. He's just got this kind of mentality where he's like a young adult. Can't really explain it any different. And I feel like saying, when I was 11, I was not cool. I'm not cool now, and I was definitely not cool then. I wasn't even cool enough for Adidas poppers. Like, I wasn't even cool enough for Kappa.
I would have loved a pair of Adidas popper tracksuit bottoms.
No, my mum would buy me any because they're too expensive.
Yeah, I remember never had a pair.
I remember there were a few people in the in our year that had them, and they just looked so futuristic. Adidas poppers. A few things that were like ahead of their time, I'm going to say. We've talked about kickers a few times. Remember, kickers on the playground were always pretty big. I remember one person coming in one year with a Tommy Hilfiger coat. Do you remember when they got big on the playground?
Yeah.
And it was, as I remember, it was checkered white and blue, or red, white, and blue. And I think they're like, I think they're made for like rowing, like windsurfing, that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh no! Helly Hansen, not Tommy Hilfiger.
Yeah,
That's what
Helly
I'm thinking of.
Hansen. That's the one. Yeah.
Do you remember Helly Hansen coats? Again,
Yes.
my mum let me have one of them. But they were like back then. They were like £100, weren't they, or something like that?
Yeah.
And that was like mid-90s.
Yeah.
I remember a few people had them.
Everybody had the black naff coats.
Naff. Yes. Do you remember push pops?
Yes, push pop.
But they got banned.
Yeah,
because
people would start choking on them because
people were just
solid piece of sugar.
People would just eject them straight into their esophagus, wouldn't they? And they'd jump out because they were like a lipstick, weren't they? They used to just pop up.
Yes. Yeah.
I remember push pops for a while. Yeah, they were good. Pogs. We talked about Pogs.
Yeah. I've still got some Pogs somewhere.
Was I right in thinking that Pogs used to come with Walker's Crisps?
They did at one point, and then Tazos did as well.
Yeah, Tazos. Yeah, I remember them.
Yeah. Talking of Tazos, hang on 2 secs.
I used to play with, and this is, bloody hell, what's that? I used to play with top trumps. My mum would send me into school with top trumps. All the other kids would have Tazos, Pogs, and cool stuff like that. And I'd have top trumps, and nobody want to play with me because they just want to swap Pogs with people. Absolutely humiliating it was. What have you found? Of course, you've still got them. Star Wars Special Edition. Tazos. Oh my
There they are. Look, all the Tazos in the pages.
Oh, look at that. How have you stuck them down?
It was a proper folder. So if you look at the things, there's a cutout in each of the pages where they
Oh, yeah.
And they just complete the scene of the picture.
Yeah. I know you're obviously not the biggest football fan in the world, but did you ever collect football stickers? The Panini things.
Some of them, but I had other things like what were they called? It was like pop star ones. So there were stickers like Smash Hits, and I can't remember what it was.
Smash Hits. Remember Smash Hits magazine?
Yeah, and I also collected WWF cards.
Did you used to do swaps on the playground?
Yeah.
One of my memories was like a big group of people just standing round going, got, need, got, need. Ipswich Town shiny. Yeah. Good times.
Yeah.
Well, shall we move on to our final seggers? I think that's all where we've arrived at, isn't it?
Yes. There was the one thing, but that can wait till next week. Ryan, we will get onto it next week, but as it's not coming up for a while, you'll be okay. But
okay,
we'll definitely talk about it next week. So, final thing that we need to do is the Strava segment. So, last week's leaderboard. In first place with 76.5 miles is Kyle Blacketer. So awesome work, Kyle. Second place with 72.4 miles is Chris Reynolds. And third with 70.5 miles is Mark Stockwell. So great work from everybody.
Good work, guys.
And then our top three for climbing. In first place, I'm not sure if he should get this because he DNF'd. And does DNFing count?
It definitely does count if it's where it's going, where I think it's going.
Okay, so in first place is Andy Maguire with 6,060 foot of climbing.
Yeah, he did one run as well.
Second place is Mark Stockwell with 5,577 foot. And in third is, do you remember the 21st night of Madhember? With 5,177 foot. So awesome work from everybody there. And with our ladies, I will say it was a very strong week from our ladies, and our top 3 ladies for our distance all came in the top 11 overall.
Amazing.
So in first place was Chloe Hammard with 67.2 miles. Second was Rachel Watson with 62.9 miles. And third was Victoria Lee with 62 miles on the nose. So amazing running from you 3. And then for our climbing, in first place is Jackie Wilson with 4,554 foot. Second place, Ash Spedding with 4,390 foot. And third, Stephanie Parker with 2,303 foot. So amazing work, everybody.
Yeah, well done. I've just seen Ian Bowdler did complete it. He's done it.
Oh, excellent.
He did his race to the Stones. He's got his 100K under his belt.
Amazing.
And yeah, he's come up as one of our total running time champions.
Brilliant.
So yeah, well done, Ian.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Excellent work, Ian. Great work, mate. Oh, yeah, and Brad Price is second in that. So
yeah,
amazing. Right. So, have you got any other?
No, I don't think so. Just going to try and wrung my socks off tomorrow, and obviously I'll try and hang in with you. But I haven't done any speed work. I'm recovering from a nearly 50K awful run last week. I've hardly done any running this week. So yeah, let's go for a 5K PB tomorrow. What's the worst that can happen?
Exactly that. Yeah, what is the worst that can happen? You don't do it. Oh well, never mind. There's always another go.
I've done a lot of easy stuff, so I could have the aerobic base there. And to be fair, I haven't done a lot of running this week, so I'm actually coming into this quite fresh.
Yeah,
so,
and the last time we were down at our valley and you came for a pacing job, you left me halfway around the pacing. So hopefully this time.
Well, I can tell you now, 19 flat is not going to happen. I ain't going to do that. Sorry, halfway through a yawn then. I reckon if I'm being a betting man, sub 1930 would be absolutely delightful.
Okay.
But I don't think, and I'm not being negative, I'm being realistic. I don't think I've got a sub 19 in me. However, I think I could get a PB tomorrow.
Nice.
Could get a 1930.
Okay. Well, you've got a Baconator to race.
I've got the Baconator. Bacon's got his sausage. So yes. Yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah. So yeah, we've got bacon, sausage. Who's going to be the egg?
Yeah, I don't know. Is Matt coming with us? I don't know if he's going to come for the ride. I don't know.
Yeah,
you'll have to be the egghead.
No, I'm going to be the bread roll or the crusty loaf to make the bacon sausage and egg sandwich.
Yeah, I suppose we need our sandwich, don't we? I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
No, neither do I. So, we shall. Excited for tomorrow and the start of this year's Parkrun in the Red Line. We shall see how everybody gets on, and we shall talk through the first week of results next week.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you so much for watching or listening, and we'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, all.